how did we get a government which can only pay lip service to the Constitution? I was interrogating this congressman from South Carolina, Jim Clyburn, the number 3 ranking Democrat in the House, about health care. And I said, Congressman Clyburn, very simple declaratory basic question. Where in the Constitution is the federal government authorized to manage health care? He looked at me as if I had 3 heads and said, Judge, most of what we do down here, I was in New York, he was in Washington, through the magic of Fox, it looked like we were in the same room. Most of what we do down here is not authorized by the Constitution. Now, we all laugh at that. Everybody does every time I relate it, and you may give him some credit for his honesty, but it's reprehensible. Congressman, do you remember that you took an oath to uphold the Constitution? Yes. But you tell me, he says, to continue the conversation, where in the Constitution it is prohibited. I'm just going to walk down the aisle. So there we are, Matthew. Where in the Constitution it is prohibited for the federal government to manage health care. Now, that is the more serious of the 2 confessions, because that reveals an utter misunderstanding of the Constitution and the nature of limited government. If he thinks that the federal government can do everything except that which is prohibited, then it can do almost anything it wants. In fact, of course, the federal government is limited if the Constitution means what it says, unless it's this sneaky majoritarian document intended to create totalitarianism when we have a dictator like Lincoln or Franklin Roosevelt or even his cousin Theodore, or the guys that have been in the White House in the past couple of terms. You'll have to decide for yourself whether the Constitution was written to permit that. But we know that at least as you read it, it is one of limited powers.